Before assembling this machine, please make sure all parts are organized. We have prepared all necessary fasteners, and each step includes a diagram of the machine installation parts. Just follow the steps below, and you'll quickly assemble the machine. Step 1. Connect the gantry frame assembly and rotating frame assembly with bolts, spring washers, flat washers, and lock nuts, and tighten appropriately. Connect the rotating frame assembly and seat cushion frame assembly with bolts, spring washers, flat washers, and lock nuts and tighten appropriately. Connect the rotating frame assembly and seat cushion frame assembly with bolt, spring washers, and flat washers, and tighten appropriately. Step 2. Loosen the screws on the base plate assembly. Remove the fixed sleeve on the sliding rod, and take out the counterweight head assembly. Remove the counterweight pin. Insert the counterweight blocks assembly onto the sliding rod in order of weight, and place it into the portal frame. Finally, install the counterweight head assembly and secure it with the counterweight pin. Insert the fixed sleeve on the sliding rod into the sliding rod, and secure it in the gantry frame assemblies. Then use the corresponding hexagon socket countersunk screws to tighten the base plate assembly on the sliding rod. Step 3. Assemble the rotating connection frame to the gantry frame assembly and lock it in place with hexagon socket countersunk bolts along with spring washers and flat washers. Pass the cam disc through the rotating connection frame. Then insert the bearing retaining ring. Pass it through the foot swing tube weldment. Then add another bearing retaining ring, and finally pass it through the rotating frame. Install the rotating plate on the end shown in the diagram. Then secure the guard cover with hexagon socket countersunk bolts. Use washers and bearing retaining covers to lock the hexagon socket countersunk bolts. Step 4. Use the corresponding hexagon wrench to loosen the hexagon socket countersunk screws on the guard plate. Then remove the guard plate. Remove the turntable pulley. Thread the wire rope assembly through the pulley assemblies as shown in the diagram. Reassemble the turntable pulley. One end should clip onto the right clamp block, while the other end should be secured using a screw cap and rubber plug. Tighten with hexagon nuts M12. Secure the guard plate on the gantry frame assembly using hexagon socket countersunk screws. Install the foam tube weldment into the foot swing tube assembly, securing both ends with large washers and tightening with bolts. Step 5. Tighten the counterweight iron using hexagon socket countersunk bolts, along with spring washers and flat washers. Loosen the hexagon socket countersunk screw on the rotating frame assembly and insert the lower pressing rotating shaft into the rotating frame assembly. Then tighten. Assemble the leg support bending tube onto the lower pressing rotating shaft and lock it in place using hexagon socket bolts with bearing retaining covers on the rotating frame assembly. Remove the hexagon socket countersunk screw from the foam tube weldment. Install the foam cylinder. Secure it with compression washers and tighten with hexagon socket countersunk screws. Finally, place the plastic outer retaining ring over it. Repeat the same for the leg support bending tube assembly, securing with compression washers and hexagon socket countersunk screws. and covering with the plastic outer retaining ring. Step 6. Assemble the rear guard plate and front guard plate onto the gantry frame assembly. Then secure them with bolts. Secure the water bottle holder onto the gantry frame assembly using bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. Step 7. Connect the seat cushion assembly to the seat cushion frame using bolts, spring washers, and flat washers, and tighten. Remove the hexagon socket cap screw, pull out the pin assembly, and insert the backrest adjustment frame into the seat cushion frame. Reinstall the screw. Use bolts with spring washers and flat washers to secure the cushion assembly. Check and tighten all screws. All assembly work is complete. Monthly. Check all assembly bolts and tighten them again. Shake the product, and if there is any wobbling, adjust the position or foot pad height. Weekly. Check all rotating parts for smooth movement and no abnormal sounds. Ensure the wire rope is taut and the counterweight blocks are not suspended in a stationary state. Check the functionality of the pin assembly and tighten it. Apply silicone oil to the sliding rod and bearing rotating parts. Ensure all functions of the product are working correctly. Daily. Check the product surface for paint peeling, leather aging or softening, label peeling, surface damage, etc., and replace if necessary. Wipe the product surface with Pledge. Remove the rear guard plate and the right guard plate. Pull out the counterweight pin. Lift the counterweight head. Insert the counterweight pin and remove the wire rope. From one end of the square slot, pull the wire rope out from the other end. Take a new wire rope. Attach one end to the pulling rope. And assemble it through the pulley. Install the right panel. Lower the counterweight block and install the rear panel.